Buenas and half a day, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us for this special occasion. We are here to present resolutions to our centenarians on island. And so our centenarians are those 100 years or older still living in our community. This is a great blessing for us and a real honor for the 35th Guam legislature to be able to recognize our oldest and wisest members still with us today. I'd like to thank my colleagues for joining me. I'd like to recognize Speaker Tina Rose Munya Barnes and Senator Will Castro, who are also my co sponsors for these resolutions today. And I'd like to recognize the Department of Public Health and Social Services. I see we have our director, Mr. Art St. Augustine, and Deputy Director, Mr. Terry Uggan, as well as the administrator of the Division of Senior Citizens, Charlene St. Nicholas. Buenas and Hafide, thank you very much. And most especially, I'd like to recognize the representatives of the families of our centenarians who are online with us. So we have some centenarians who are online and as well as their families. So we will recognize them as we go down the line for each centenarian and give them a chance to share a little bit about their centenarian and what a special day this is for them. I think most of the community knows that we usually celebrate our centenarians during the Senior Citizens Month. However, due to the pandemic, we tried to push it back as long as we could so that we could do it in person. And we were very optimistic and hopeful each month, thinking that we might be able to do it, we might be able to do it. However, we know that things did not get much better or safer, especially to bring our manamko out in public. So we felt that this was the safest way, and we did not want the year to go by without recognizing this very, very special milestone for our centenarians and their families. So with that, I'd like to invite our Director of Public Health, Mr. St. Augustine, to give us a few words about the history of the centenarian celebration since he was the administrator of the Division of Senior Citizens for many years.
Thank you very much, Chairperson Committee on Senior Citizen Senator Amanda Shelton. But also, before I do that, I'd like to also acknowledge the Speaker Tina Munya Barnes, and of course, Senator Castro. Thank you all for being a part of this and also being a sponsor. Centenarian is such a special time for our manamko. It really is a landmark. It is a testament of longevity, of great life. Many of our seniors who do reach this age seem to share a common thread. Strong family values, strong religious values, and really good hard-working ethics. And although, as the senator has said, we have tried, and we're very hopeful that we would be able to do this celebration as we have in many years past, in person, present the iconic Centenarian Award and all the well wishes that come with that, the many gifts. Unfortunately, given our current situation, this is the best that we can do at this time. But more notably, thank you, Senator, for ensuring that this doesn't go unmarked this year. So we thank you for taking the leadership, as you are one of our many supporters for the Manamko Month, which, as you said, is usually celebrated in May. And, we would go through a period where we present what the prices were like 100 years ago, what life was like 100 years ago. Because just think about all that these centenarians have gone through and have lived through. Not only have they survived the war, they are here today with us. Another historical public health crisis as it is, but historical. We are actually in the height of a pandemic. We are responding, and that is why we're doing this virtual. But putting all that aside, we're finding a way to make things move forward. And we're doing that through Zoom today. And I want to thank again the senator, and I want to thank all the family who's here with us this morning. I want to congratulate you all for mom and dad, for all the moms and dads out there, even those that are not recognized. Sometimes our families don't want to be recognized, and we respect that. But for those of you, we thank you for joining us today. I wish each of them a very happy birthday, happy belated birthday, Viva Cumpleaños. And as much as we used to always say, Viva Manamko, and we would all have that great chant. So as much as we could all say Viva Manamko, and we want to wish all our Manamko here in Guam the very well. Many blessings for them today and for the days to come and years to come. And thank you again, Senator, for the time to speak this morning. I just want to thank the family, and I'll I'll leave you at that. Si Zoas Masi, on behalf of Public Health and Social.
Siduous Maasi Art and absolutely Biba Manamku. And I see one of our centenarians here is live with us. So it's beautiful to see you even on Zoom. I know that some families did have technical difficulties logging on, and they are watching with us on TV and on the YouTube channel. And we will be sure to get the hard copies of the resolution to each of your families after this presentation today. I'd also like to give Ms. Charlene St. Nicholas at the Division of Senior Citizens the opportunity to say a few words. Even though there wasn't a lot of planning for the Senior Citizens Month and the Centenarian celebration, the Division of Senior Citizens has absolutely been very, very busy throughout the pandemic, keeping our seniors fed and providing the services to them. And I would like to also recognize the Department of Public Health and Social Services, as throughout this week, they are administering the COVID-19 vaccines to our Manamku. We heard that it's been very successful over the last few days, and we're so happy to be doing this as it may be a very difficult time. It is something to be very grateful for right now, that we are getting these vaccines to our most vulnerable in our community. So Siduas Masi and Shar, take it away.
Okay, I won't say much, but I do want to say thank you to the families, our caregivers, the centenarians for being with us. This is truly historical. You've gone through the wars, and now we have this global pandemic. It's very different type of environment. As the senator has mentioned, in prior years, we would have something, a gathering where we really celebrate this event. It's one of our most significant events, because not many people are able to be in a room full of centenarians that, you know, even if we have 100, there's 500 years of living experience together. I also just want to say thank you. We hope that you continue to move forward in light of the COVID-19 that's out there, and for the caregivers to continue to help our elderly so that they can live longer. And hopefully we get up to seeing our 105-year-old centenarian for Guam, which of course will be very historical when we get there. I do also want to say thank you to the staff of the division for continuing their efforts. As the senator has mentioned, although COVID has closed our centers, senior centers, our daycares, the staff that are there with Mayor's Council of Guam, they still continue as a network to continue with the meal service, be it congregate drive-through or home-based, our homebound meals, our transportation. Those services still continue. So we will also want our caregivers out there to be aware of aging services. Although we may not have counter service, it's still happening, and it is occurring. I also want to say thank you to Health Services of the Pacific, our contractor with the case management, who is able to help us ensure that we capture and identify those here on Guam that are 100 years of age and older. So thank you for the time, senators, and for also making sure that this year goes not unnoticed with our centenarian. So thank you. We too were waiting, but this is an alternate, and virtual is just as good as well. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Siduas Masi. And we are all learning to adapt. And I think we have some great examples in our centenarians, the lives they've lived, adapting and persevering through all of this time, that we're certainly able to do this today with their example. And we're happy to celebrate them and very honored to be here. We'll jump right into the presentations, and we'll allow the families to speak. And then, of course, we'll close out with some remarks from my co-sponsor, and we'll leave you with the speaker's closing remarks. So first, I'd like to present resolution number 399-35LS, authored by myself and co-sponsored by Speaker Tina Rose Munoz-Barnes and William M. Castro. This is relative to recognizing Paz Mendiola Sablan as a recipient of the 2020 Centenarian and commemorating her on the celebration of her 103 years of longevity. So first, Viva Cumpleaños, as the director said. Usually the Centenarian month, we're wishing everyone a happy birthday, and it's well deserved to celebrate it all year long. because it is such a big milestone. And so we'll just read a little bit from her biography and share some of her life moments. Paz Mendiola Sablan was born on September 30th, 1917, and is the daughter of Juan Cruz and Carmen Cruzal Mendiola. Paz, fondly known as Nanpa, is formerly from the village of Pidi and currently lives with her niece Irene Toves in Jigo. Nampa was married to the love of her life, Pedro Chargaloff Sablan, for 33 years until his passing in 1973, and she remained committed to her vows and never remarried. She was a homemaker who enjoyed watching television shows to include her favorite soap opera, The Young and the Restless, and her favorite game show, Let's Make a Deal. She's a very independent woman who does not like to impose on anyone. She even told her niece Irene to cancel the meal delivery for senior citizens' food and stated to give the food to those in need. At one point, she also attended the adult daycare in Barragata Heights. She stopped going as she preferred to stay home. And her niece describes her as a homebody. In her younger years, she enjoyed shopping, taking walks, planting vegetables and flowers. She would walk to the Dedido flea market and preferred shopping at mom and pop stores and was not very fond of large shopping centers, was not a materialistic person. Her favorite foods include sardines, Vienna sausage, raisin bread, soup, bananas, Oreo, cookies, milk, and juice. Some of my favorites too. She would reminisce of and tell stories of World War II, and she has always been a devout Catholic who attended Mass every Sunday. Although she might not attend Mass regularly, Nampa still donates to the Santa Barbara Church in Dedido and Our Lady of Lourdes Church in Jigo. She has always remained committed to her faith and to her spouse. She's a very simple woman who helps those in need, and although she has stopped doing many activities that she loved, when she turned 90 years old, she still continues to have her strength and independence. And with that, we are very proud on behalf of the Guam legislature to recognize her, Paz Mendiola Sablan, on celebrating 100 years of longevity and commemorate her, though we're not in the month of Senior Citizens Month anymore, to still recognize her during the Centenarian month as one of our few centenarians here on Guam. And if there's anyone from Paz's family here today, I don't know if you've joined us over the last few minutes, but you are welcome to say a few words on behalf of Ms. Sablan. Okay, I don't see anybody in the waiting room, but we will move on to resolution number 400. This is relative to recognizing Ramona Blas Villagomez as a recipient of the 2020 Centenarian Award and commemorating her and celebrating her 100 years of longevity. And we have many of Ramona's family here. So welcome to you all, some who are not on video, but there are many logged on, some watching on YouTube, I know, and on TV. Ramona was born on February 29th, 1920, in the heart of Hagåtña, Guam, and is the daughter of Rosa Pereira Crisostomo and Jesus Santos Blas. She is fondly known as Auntie Ana or Nana. She's formerly from the village of Hagåtña and presently resides with her daughter, Luis V. Perez, in Barragata. Ramona was married to the love of her life, Pedro Perez Villagomez, for 30 years until his unfortunate passing in 1976. She also remained committed to her vows and never remarried. She is the matriarch of her family and is affectionately known as Auntie Ramona to her nieces and nephews. She has always lived a very simple life. She has 3 children, Rosa, Luis, and Carl. She has 6 granddaughters, 3 grandsons, and has been abundantly blessed with 2 great-grandchildren. Ramona was a homemaker who, for the most part, enjoyed raising her children, and she is affectionately known as Nana to her family. She loved to sew. She was very skilled and hardworking with her sewing. She even enjoyed the seam work and intricacy of each stitch. As a mother, she has made many outfits for her children. She has also made prom dresses for her daughters. Evidently, being a mother was a never ending task, and she was also certainly a very good cook. Dinner rolls, bread was one of her specialties for all family gatherings, and it was an essential dish to bring, and many individuals were indulged in her dinner rolls. Ramona also liked to reminisce and tell stories of World War II. She's also been a very devout Catholic who attended Mass weekly, and she also remains committed to her faith. We are very, very honored to celebrate Miss Ramona Blas Villagomez today on her many years of longevity and her beautiful life. And so I'd like to recognize Miss Louise to say a few words about her mother.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, senators and public health, and for everyone who made this possible. 100 really is something to celebrate. She will be 101 in 2 months, so we're grateful for that and very blessed. Actually, oh, it went off. Did we go off?
Yes, we don't see your video, Miss Louise, if you can turn it back on.
I had it on, but I don't know what happened. I can't see it now, but you can hear me, right?
We can hear you. We can hear
Okay.
you. So please
I'm
continue.
so sorry because what popped up was the resolution with her name on my iPad. So I don't know how to get out of here and not disrupt the, let me tap on it and see.
No
Is
problem.
that better?
We can still
Okay,
hear
here I,
you now. Thank you.
anyway, let me swipe. Well, it's not working. The swiping is not working. But anyway, not Auntie Anna, but Auntie Manang is what everybody calls her, Manang for Romana. And my brother Carl and my sister Rosa are also very grateful for this opportunity for you guys to celebrate her 100th year. Soon to be 101. I showed her earlier, but she seems to be restless today, so I'm not going to put her back on. But thank you, all of you, and for all my family that's here. I love you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Louise. And we're very happy to hear about your mom's life through the resolution, her biography, and thank you for everything that you shared today. And we did catch a little glimpse of her, so it was nice to see her. Please give her all our well wishes and a big happy birthday in advance of her 101st birthday. What an absolute joy to be celebrating. So happy birthday to her.
Thank you.
And now we will move on to the next resolution, which is resolution number 401-35 to recognize Jose Aguinaldo Peralta as a recipient of the 2020 Centenarian Award and to commemorate him and the celebration of his 100 years of longevity. Jose was born on July 18, 1920, and is the son of Modesta Aguinaldo Peralta and Sebastian Peralta. He's fondly known as Jose and is formerly from the Pangasinan province of the Philippines. He currently lives with his wife Juanita Sevilla Peralta in Dedido, where he has resided for the past 20 years. He's been married to the love of his life, Juanita Sevilla Peralta, for 68 years, and he has remained committed to his vows. Jose continues to live his life day by day with his 8 children, 18 grandchildren, and 10 great-grandchildren. One of the most notable achievements in Jose's life is that he established the Star Press General Printer in Tamuning. As a small businessman, he took pride in the business and it being a family-facilitated operation. Star Press General Printers was also operated with his older brother, Segundo, and he and his wife made it their mission to help their relatives back in the Philippines by sending money to make sure they had pasalubong whenever mom made trips back to Barrio. Jose is a great man who is humble, a quiet man who took part in many of Guam's civic organizations. He was an active member of Rotary Club of Tumang Guam, the Filipino Community of Guam, the Ilocano Association of Guam, and enjoyed the camaraderie of the fellow Filipinos who made Guam their home as well. He enjoyed planting vegetables and gardening in the backyard and would walk up and down the garden to exercise. He'd grow onions, peppers, eggplants, and many other vegetables. We are very, very honored on behalf of the 35th Guam Legislature to recognize today on his 100th year of life, Mr. Jose Aguinaldo Peralta. So happy birthday to Mr. Peralta. If there's anyone from the Peralta family here, I just have to ask, I don't want to skip over anybody, but I know there are still people joining us in the Zoom room. So if you are here, let us know. We'll move on now to the next resolution, which is Resolution 402-35. And this is recognizing Felicissima Alkira Montalban as a recipient of the 2020 Centenarian Award and commemorating her on the celebration of her 100 years of longevity. She was born on February 8th, 1920, and is the daughter of Petra Algar and Palcito Alicia. She was born in the Philippines and currently lives in Tumon with her daughter, Ida M. Miranda. She is the matriarch of her family and has 14 children. She had a set of twins, and she's also blessed with 15 grandchildren and 10 great-grandchildren. She was married to the love of her life, Proceso Montalban, and she has remained committed to her vows. She was a housewife who enjoyed a simple life, enjoyed cooking pancit, kari-kari, and many other Filipino foods and delicacies, and often enjoys family gatherings at home. We are very honored to recognize today Felicissima Alkira Montalban on her 100 years of longevity as one of Guam's centenarians. Happy birthday to her. And if there's anyone from the Montalban family, we'd love for you to be recognized if you are watching online half a day. And if you're in the Zoom room, we invite you to speak. We'll now move to resolution number 403-35, recognizing Philemon Catabe Carino as a recipient of the 2020 Centenarian Award and commemorating him on the celebration of his 100 years of longevity. Philemon was born on March 20, 1920, and is the son of Juana Catabe and Alejandro Carino. He's fondly known as Philemon and is formerly from the Philippines, currently living with his wife in Maina. He was married to the first love of his life, Miss Elisa A. Carino, for 68 years until her unfortunate passing in February 2015, and remarried to Adelina J. Carino, and they have been married for 4 years. Philemon has 4 children with his first wife, Gloria, Willie, Jean, and Linda. Philemon was also blessed with 16 grandchildren and 29 great-grandchildren. He was an electrician who enjoyed working at the U.S. Naval ship repair facilities and would conclude his career retiring as a supervisor at the Naval shipyard. He's always been a devout Catholic who attended Mass every Sunday, and he's a very active individual. He served as the president of the Parish Council of Our Lady of Purification Church in Maina, and he took joy in helping others and staying active in many church functions. He still remains faithful to Catholicism and to the church, and he was the president of the Boliano Boni Femme Organization of Guam. We are very honored on behalf of the 35th Guam Legislature today to recognize Philemon Katabe Carino for his 100 years of longevity. Happy birthday, Mr. Carino. I will move now to resolution number 404, recognizing Esperanza Avicilia Patek-Sil as a recipient of the 2020 Centenarian Award and commemorating her on the celebration of her 100 years of longevity. Esperanza was born on November 26, 1920, to Mrs. Ambrosia Gaona Avicilla and Mr. Jose Avicilla in Bacnotan, La Union, Philippines. This town is in the northern part of the Philippines, and she is the second child among 4 children. She finished her education in public schools until high school, and she was raised during the Spanish era of the Philippines. Thus, her upbringing did not include socializing much like in these modern times. In her late teens, she met and married Benjamin Rimorin Patek-Sil, who was from Buang, La Union, Philippines, which is the 3rd town south of her hometown. As a young, sheltered life bride, her in-laws taught her the household chores. Once, when she attempted to iron her dad's shirt, her oldest sister-in-law showed her how to sprinkle the shirt since she poured too much water, like it was supposed to be washed, and eventually she learned the basics of homemaking. In 1941, she gave birth to their first daughter, Ophelia. They later had a son named Benjamin Jr., and as the years went by, she gave him 6 more sons. Her husband, 6 more sons. She attended to the caring and education of their children, while her husband attended to their business. She taught all her children the 3 R's: reading, writing, and arithmetic. She made it a point to see that they were comfortable and properly dressed and fed all the time before arriving to school and after school. She supervised and guided all her children while doing their homework and school projects, and she took the part of disciplining too. At the onset of their married life, her husband's parents gave them funds and started a shoe store business, but it did not go as expected. Her husband played mahjong and the business dwindled, but she was never a fishwife. Her dad's parents again her husband's parents gave them again a family inheritance, which enabled them to establish their rice business. Their children shared that they never heard their parents argue or had bad spats, but they're sure that they did in some subtle way, but they enjoyed their happy marriage together. She was also a talented seamstress, and her sewing augmented their family income sometimes. We are very, very honored today to recognize Esperanza for her 100 years of life and longevity. So Viva Cumpleaños, Esperanza. Happy birthday. Next, we are on, I believe there's someone here from Esperanza's family. If there's someone who'd like to speak, we'd like you to turn on your mic and your video at this time so you can give a few words about your mother. I believe Eric, if you're there, please turn on your mic so we can hear you.
Half a day.
Half a day, thank you.
Buenos and Day, everyone. My name is Yurik. I'm the grandson of Esperanza, and I just want, on behalf of the family, I want to thank everyone, the legislature and public health, for making the recognition possible, and also just want to congratulate all the celebrants that we're recognizing today. 100 years is truly a feat, especially in our times.
Thank you so much, Yurik, for being here on behalf of your family. Please give your grandmother our well wishes as she celebrates 100 years of life. What a blessing to be able to celebrate her as one of Guam's centenarians. Thank you very much. Now I'd like to recognize with Resolution 405, Yuthlan Moylan as a recipient of the 2020 Centenarian Award and commemorating her on the celebration of 102 years of longevity. Yuthlan Moylan was born in Hawaii to the proud parents, George Lim Ho and Annie Kahi. She met the love of her life, F.L. Scotty Moylan, while going to school and cleaning homes at Fort Shafter, Hawaii. Scotty would be doing PT and wanted to impress her by running laps during her lunchtime in the field. She always thought, what had that man done to make him have to run so many laps? She married Scotty on March 27th, 1938. Together they have 4 children, Kurt, Richard, Francis, and Lealoha. She has been blessed with 15 grandchildren and 31 great-grandchildren. A successful business in Hawaii they had together in developing films with her spouse. While residing in Hawaii, the military hired them to come to Guam after the war to develop films taken in the outer islands. From there, they started F.L. Moylan Company, Moylan Enterprises, Moylan Motor Company, which represented Volkswagen, Mercedes-Benz, Subaru, and Kawasaki. Yuthlan is a businesswoman, wife, mother, and grandmother. She handled the wholesale division, which represented Andrew Jurgens Company, White Westinghouse, and Welch's Pfizer, and many other lines. She was an active bowler for a number of years and had bowling teams at Playland Bowl and Royal Lanes. She also enjoyed golf and played every Sunday at Windward Hills. Yuthlan enjoyed a social life with her spouse that centered around her family and her employees. We are very honored on behalf of the 35th Guam Legislature to recognize Ms. Yuthlan Moylan, not just on 100 years, but on 102 years of longevity. Happy birthday to you, Ms. Moylan. Thank you very much. If there's anyone from the Moylan family here today, please let me know. We'd like to recognize you online. We'll move on to the final centenarian this morning, and that is the Teodora P. Andrada, as a recipient of the 2020 Centenarian Award and commemorating her and celebrating her 100 years of longevity. Teodora Andrada was born in Hawaii. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong one. I apologize. Teodora Andrada is married to Hilariano Andrada, and she worked as a homemaker and mother. Together they had 5 children, Nick, Violet, Carmen, Connie, and Edna. She has been blessed with 17 grandchildren and 30 great-grandchildren and 1 great-great-grandchild. She's an active senior center member where she played bingo and cards for many years. And she would love to go to buffets, out to eat, and occasionally watch TV in her spare time. Her favorite drink is Pepsi and fruit juices. We are very honored on behalf of the Guam Legislature to recognize Ms. Teodora P. Andrada for her many years of longevity, celebrating her 100th birthday as one of Guam's centenarians. So, viva cumpleaños, Ms. Andrada. there's anyone from the Andrada family here or those watching online, half a day to you. Thank you very much for sharing your mother, your grandmother, and to all of you for sharing your mothers, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers with us and our community. We are so thankful for them. That is the last of the resolutions, but I'd like to give the time to my co-sponsor, Senator Will Castro, to give us a few remarks to help us celebrate this great day.
First of all, thank you, Madam Chair and Speaker, for the privilege to join you in honoring our centenarians. And for as long as I can remember, I've always enjoyed being around our island's treasures, beautiful people, responsible in more ways than one for our successes and perseverance through the decades. And so for those of you who are keepers of traditions and customs, family history, secrets of cooking, dancing, and the healing arts, God bless you. Happy birthday. And I'm so honored to be here to witness this fine day of life for all of you. God bless you. We're so privileged to be in your presence. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Senator Castro. And Speaker Munya Barnes.
Jesus Masi, Legislative Secretary Shelton, and Duncan Jesus Masi for giving me this opportunity. And I just want to say Hafades and Manana Jesus to all of you here and to all the celebrants with us this morning. And it's truly a great honor to be with our Mananas this morning, our Sainas. I'm so humbled. I want to share that you are a source of strength for many in our community, having survived decades of wars, pandemics, super typhoons, earthquakes. You truly remind us that we can overcome anything and recover. Your example is a true testament that we can and we will get all of us through this present pandemic. I truly wish that we can be with you and honor you in person with a more ceremonious celebration. But I must say thank you, Legislative Secretary and Public Health. I'm glad that we can honor at least the Centenarians in this way virtually in their homes and being safe in their homes. So thank you for that. And I want to say that life is God's greatest gift, and you all are certainly living a long and fulfilled life. And I ask our Heavenly Father God to bestow many more wonderful blessings and strength to you and all your loved ones. And as I was hearing the stories from the Legislative Secretariat, you could see that my face was lit up, especially when they talked about the athletes and what they had gone to, what they played, what they cooked, and all of them in their faith in God. I was truly touched by that. So thank you, Public Health and Legislative Secretary, for sharing, letting us share with you this honor to present to the greatest generation that continues to live today. And I'm so honored to be here, and thank you for giving me that this time. God bless each and every one of you, and blessed Happy New Year. And I know and believe in my heart that it will be a better 2021. God bless Sansai Masi.
Thank you very much, Speaker Barnes, for those remarks. And I'd like to again thank all of the families of our centenarians who were online with us today. If you were here live in the Zoom room, if you were watching us on our YouTube channel or on our television channel, and I would like to say a very special holiday to our centenarians who we know are also watching. And we're so thankful that some of you were able to join us today. That was really beautiful to see you. And of course, I'd like to thank the Department of Public Health and Social Services and the Division of Senior Citizens for all the work that you do for our centenarians, for keeping us informed with what's going on with them, and just continuing the services for them, especially during the pandemic. And again, to recognize you and your leadership with the vaccines this week with all of our Manamku. And I know there may be people out there watching who we didn't recognize every single centenarian in our community. There may be more. And so if you'd like to be recognized, or if you're a family who knows that your loved one will be reaching the beautiful age of 100 100 years old, please reach out to the Division of Senior Citizens and let us know, because we would love to recognize you as well and celebrate this milestone, as you are our oldest and wisest and greatest gift to our island today. So thank you very much. And as the speaker said, the common thing that we heard throughout all of these biographies, what they loved to cook, what they did, how they cared for their family, was that they had faith in God, and they continue their faith to this day. I think that's a beautiful testament of, and they love to ask our centenarians, I'm sure, what is the secret to a long life? And so that was the common thread that we saw today. And so I hope that this is a beautiful example to the people of Guam for us to continue to have faith, to pray for our island, that we will see brighter days ahead. And I believe we will. And we are very thankful to our centenarians for being the example of resiliency and strength for us. So Siduos Masi, Biba Cumpleaños, and we cannot leave without a big Biba Manamku. Viva. Thank you so much, everyone. Adios, and happy birthday to all our centenarians.